Welcome to the New Podcast, episode number 115. My name is Steven. I am joined, as always, by producer and co-host extraordinaire, my man.
Hello.
Kelly. Let's get to it. Lots to talk about this week. We had a good card going down for Bellator. The important thing was I could watch it on TV, at least. That was the important thing. Break that down at the end of the show. Good card. Like I said, a good card. Get into some video games. Got to a good amount of video games. Not a ton, but a good amount of video games this week. And we're going to talk some news here. But good weekend. Easter weekend up here in Canada. I don't think they actually get, I'm not sure if it's, I think it's the Monday they actually don't get in the States. So I feel sorry for you dudes down there. We up here, you know, I mean, as a union worker myself as well, I get the Monday.
No Mondays for me.
So exactly. So all y'all down there can suck it. Loving it. 4-day weekend here. Had a great weekend. Just, you know what I mean, kind of just did a lot of fun shit. I drove to Hope, which is like a neighboring small little town. Didn't go into the town, just filled with gas, went into the forest, shot my bow and arrow. Kelly, fuck that thing. I think the bow I got for Christmas. Yeah. What a fucking feeling, man. Like, just fucking pulling that bitch back and letting that arrow rip, dude. Fuck, what a feeling, dude.
Nice,
it's like a fucking laser quick, too. Like,
we should go
seriously.
there together next time. I got a little crossbow.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
Sure. For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We line up some cans or something.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and you know, our buddy, you know, the guy just recently got engaged. He's super into it too. I didn't even know he is super into it as well. He's even got a target too. That's the thing that you know what I mean. I bought extra arrows, so I knew I was going to lose extra arrows. Yeah. Never fired a bow in my entire fucking life. Yeah. Never fired a bow in my life, and I lost a few arrows. The first one I fired, I was with my son. I'm like, did you see it? I think that's the thing. I didn't expect it to come out fucking so quick. But man, what a feeling! I'd just recommend anybody out there if you're kind of on the fence about it. Fuck, it was just like that euphoric feeling, kind of like shooting a gun type thing. You know, and just having that power in your hand.
It's crazy that you can just buy a bow, but you got to get a license for a gun.
Well, you know what I mean? You're not going to go on a mass murder with a bow. You'd fuck a bunch of people up. That's for sure. Yeah. You could definitely kill a handful of people. This thing would...
Yeah, exactly. I think I shot it through, mass murder.
Because, I shot... first shot I missed, terribly. The second shot, I fired at this huge-ass stump. Yeah. It was a gigantic, old cedar stump, and I fired at it. And when that pinged in there, man, but it was in there deep, and this was a good distance away. This was easily 50 yards away, pinged right into it, and it was still really stuck in there. So the arrow came out, broke. I fired the broken arrow into another stump, and boom! And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But like I said, I had a handful of arrows with me, and I found it was kind of like a big dead tree that was, you know, it was toppled over, no branches on it, totally dead old tree, and been rotting for a long time, still standing. It was I'd say a good 2 feet in diameter, and this fucking arrow sunk right through it. I was like, well, I'm not getting that one back for sure. I could see it, and it sunk right into it. That one I missed too. Took a few steps forward and then fired it and pinged it. It was just, you know, getting the aim. I know I don't have my bow set up properly. I don't have all the proper release and the peep, the peep sight which you put into your bow string as well. You know, I just didn't really want to fuck with it and break it. I just wanted to go out and enjoy it and have fun. Wasn't wearing proper gloves, didn't have a proper sleeve, but I could pull this bitch back 55 pounds of force on this fucking compound bow, Kelly, and fuck, you just feel it like that. You know what I mean? And letting that bitch rip. Oof, what a feeling. Well, what was fun about the trip too is I was trying out XFM. It was okay, you know what I mean. I've had XFM before in the past. They've actually added a bunch of new stations. Obviously, the shitty part is living in BC, living in a, you know, if you lived in buttfuck nowhere in the prairies where it's just flat and there's no trees anywhere, it'd be the best thing ever. You would never lose a signal. But here you go an overpass, going through the mountains, going through a forest, you lose a signal all the fucking time. So it's super annoying for that. But I really like at Ozzy's Boneyard. I basically listen to all the way up there and back. I even told my son, I'm like, hey, buddy, you pick whatever station you want to listen to. I don't care. I won't complain. Pick whatever station you want to listen to. And he just kept on going back to Ozzy's Boneyard because it was, it's not just Ozzy. That's the thing. They have a bunch of stations like that. They have like a Pearl Jam station and a Beatles station. It's not just them. It's other people in their genre too. So that's what, you know what I mean? I'm like an 80s metalhead, even though I wasn't a teenager or into metal in the 80s. I was just a little kid. I love 80s metal, and I think that's mostly what it was. Judas Priest. It was a lot of Kiss, Alice Cooper, AC/DC, and obviously, and then a ton of Ozzy and Black Sabbath and Dio and shit like that. So it was very enjoyable when it was in service. It was very enjoyable. They've already tried to hound me to get me to extend it. And I don't know. I just don't drive enough to really want to have it. You know what I mean? I'm a huge fan of Howard Stern. Huge, especially for a influence for radio. He was definitely, like number 2 behind Jim Rome for me. So I love Howard Stern show too. It's a super funny, and that's his only radio station you can get him on. So that's kind of cool about it too. But I'm kind of on the fence about it right now. I'll see how it goes. But nonetheless, went there, fired off some arrow, drove for fucking an hour and a half, fired off some arrows for about a half hour, and then came back. The road we went up a cool mountain road. It was really cool to see all the waterfalls and shit, but didn't see another soul, which obviously, with COVID and everything, I didn't talk to another single person. The only thing I did was fill it with gas. I didn't have to talk to anybody, and it was nice. Drove as far as I could up the road until the road got super bad. Found a spot, and we went and trekked in the forest and shot some arrows. Great weekend, and it's still not even over. I still got today's only Sunday. I got Monday still to really soak it in and play some more video games. What did you get up to this week, Kelly?
Not a whole hell of a lot. Got some work done on my truck.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I guess people don't really know. I bought a new old truck. It's actually a 2000 Frontier.
Nice.
So it's gonna be a collector's in a few years. But yeah, it needed some suspension work done. Well, it didn't need it. I just wanted to get it done, and then I wanted to put new tires on it too.
Oh, cool.
So I got some new tires on it. It's driving just like a brand new truck. But I like manual transmission vehicles, and they don't really build them anymore.
They really don't. Well, exactly that. It's even like me. Like I can drive one.
Yeah.
But I never drove one until I was like late in my adult years.
Oh, okay.
Never even drove one.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So you're seeing them less and less and less. And I think that's obviously, I never learned how to do. I know a lot of people, they teach their kids how to drive a manual first as your first car. Which is a good idea.
Yeah.
But I never drove one for years. I don't think I drove one until I was in my late 20s.
Yeah, no, I my first vehicle, like you said, like my dad taught me how to drive on a manual. So I drove a manual for my first vehicle. And driving automatic, like I didn't drive one probably for like 6 years after I got my license.
Wow.
And then when I drove one, I'm like, holy shit, it's just like a little go-kart. Like you just push down and it goes. This is awesome. But after a while, I just like miss driving that manual and like listening to the engine and just like you get better gas mileage too.
That's true, yeah.
And you can it's just I don't know. I find it like a smoother experience.
Oh, your manual, your transmission will last longer too.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like when you get around 200,000 kilometers, something like that, usually you start hearing a little bit of noise from your transmission. That doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be fixed or anything, but like with a manual transmission, if you're making noise, it's usually you, like not pushing the clutch down all the way or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But it definitely will last longer. Plus, it's cheaper to cheaper to repair, cheaper to replace if I needed to.
That's true too. Yep, absolutely. Yep,
so
that's true
I think,
too.
But with this, like I want it to be a classic. It has like all original everything in it, even the stereo. I have like a little Bluetooth adapter, stuff like that.
No, it looks mint condition too. It actually looks beautiful.
So with this one, I want to keep it all original. So where was I going with this? I don't know. I just want to keep it all original.
No, that's cool, man. No, that's totally cool, and it looks good. I love seeing that a car like, oh man, it stood this test of time. That's super cool. Good for it. You know what I mean? I love seeing that on the road. Like, shit, that car is like an early '90s car and it looks great. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's great condition. You know what I mean? That's what you want to see out there.
I like the chrome too. Mm-hmm. It's all shiny.
Yeah, it's got a ton of it on it too. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's a super awesome truck, man. I love trucks. Can't you know what I mean? I think just dudes don't want a truck. Hand in your man card.
Oh yeah, Matt. The thing too is like it's an extended cab.
Yeah.
So like you can lean back and drive. You're like comfortable.
It's your garbage.
Yeah. Well, you can't throw stuff behind you if you want to. I was actually thinking of throwing like you know how JVC has those huge party boxes. They're like 2 feet long and they have a couple of big speakers in it. People are throwing them in the back of their vehicle.
Oh my god, that's hilarious!
And it's just like pounding their vehicle and shaking them. I was like, oh man, I bet you I could fit one back there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of doing because I got like 2 real badass portable speakers.
Yeah,
just having that in my van and then just having it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it'd be a damn good little system.
That would be. Yeah, totally, man.
Because it pounds super hard.
Yeah, I think all new vehicles kind of look the same too.
They kind of do, don't
like
they? Absolutely.
All the SUVs.
Yeah, having a vehicle. Oh yeah,
yours
totally.
is pretty unique. Yours is like
it's like kind of like just before the rounding started happening. Like everything was round or curved. You know what I mean? You know, it's like the Rogues and the Muranos and the Escapes. They all look exactly the same. Totally. Really, it's hard to tell them apart. Like the Volkswagen, the Tiguan's, you know, all those SUVs, they're so identical. Even the newer, like the Rav4s and not the 4Runner, but the other Toyota one, the Highlander.
Yeah,
those all look super identical. You know what I mean? Absolutely. That gotta have an identity with your ride. You know, that was kind of cool part about this trip. You know what I mean? I got a new ride and I wanted to just go on a road trip. You know, I did that before too, but I just wanted, you know, that's what you did when you were younger.
Yeah.
You know, when you first got your car, that's what you did. You know, let's get your buddies, let's go on a fucking road trip, just drive in one direction for no reason at all. You know what I mean? Go out there, get some pop or some candy and shit. Come back. That was that was the only reason, just to drive and enjoy the ride. The road was rough up when I got off the highway, but the highway was nice and it was, like I said, it was smooth sailing. It didn't take me that much time at all.
I remembered where I was going with the keep everything.
Oh, okay, yep.
If my engine goes, I'm actually just gonna get it rebuilt.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like $2,500 something like that to get it rebuilt, $3,000 something like that.
Crazy.
And then I'll just get like a new transmission, or whatever, because the transmission like really doesn't matter. You can get like a new one.
Oh, for sure.
It's not gonna make a deal, but the engine, original engine makes the deal. Makes a difference.
You've really fallen in love.
Nah, man, it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice old vehicle, man. It's a nice old vehicle.
No, it really is. Well, that's cool. Alrighty, here, let's get to some MMA news. Starting off with some non-MMA news here, Kelly. We will see Anderson, the Spider Silva. Yes, that Anderson Silva will be taking on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. June 19th in Guadalajara, Mexico. It's apparently going to be a full crowd. There aren't no social distancing at all. Full crowd, full everything for this one here. And a boxing match. Obviously. But I think everyone is asking why. Really, not wow. No one's saying wow. Everyone is just basically saying why. And it's kind of weird. I know why. It's money. 100% money. Obviously, Anderson Silva needs a nice little paycheck to go off into the sunset. And I don't really know anything about Julio Cesar Chavez. Obviously, he's the son of a even more famous boxer. Obviously, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. And of a boxing family. But this guy's really got nothing to him. Really, it's he's 6 foot. He's got about 73 inches in reach. He's only 35, so he is on the younger. But in boxing years, he is basically done in boxing years. He's in his twilight years because he's had a few losses. And but he's fought in the heaviest he fought was light heavyweight, which is in boxing. What the hell is it? That's weird. It doesn't come up.
Light heavyweight. It's probably like 185.
175.
Okay.
175 is what it is. Still, that's, you know what I mean? That's the heaviest he's ever fought. And Anderson Silva fights at 185.
Anderson Silva, he's, I don't know, man. He hasn't taken a lot of punishment because, like, when he got knocked out or lost, it's usually pretty quick. I don't think he needs the CTE that boxing will bring. Like, it's a different sport altogether. You're supposed to get hit multiple times.
All the time. Yeah,
like man, I don't know. Especially at his age, I don't think it makes any sense. But we'll see how fast it sells, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it'll sell out quite quickly, and to be against, the son of a legend, even the guy's nickname is the son of the legend. That is his nickname.
It's nothing like about him.
The other one is the legend continues.
That's like Brian Caraway when his thing used to say boyfriend of Misha Tate.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly the same. El Hijo de la Leyenda. Leyenda. I think that's how you pronounce it. Legend. Correct me if I'm wrong on all of our Spanish-speaking fans.
All of them.
All two of you. But yeah, his record's not very good if you want to break him down here a little bit. He is going to be fighting and it's going to be June 19th, so just around the corner too. Do we see this fight go to the actually make it into the bout? We're seeing a lot of these celebrity boxing matches being thrown out there, Kelly, and I wouldn't put a dime on them until they actually both have stepped foot into the ring. We hear all these matches all the time. Like the most recent one, was Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield again. You know what I mean? They've been saying that every single year, multiple times a year, that the rematch is happening, the contracts are signed. Until those two dudes step in the ring to fight each other at the exact same time, I'm not going to believe it for a fucking second. But his last fight was a win over Jason Minda, TKO in the 4th round. Kind of basically a nobody out of Ecuador. He lost to a technical, looks like a technical knockout here against Mario Alves Caceres. Also lost to Daniel Jacobs back in 2019. So 2020 he has a loss. 2019 he has a loss. And he's actually pretty active. 2 fights a year. It looks like he has a win and a loss in 2020, and going to be fighting starting off his 2021 with a. I'm guessing it has to be an exhibition match against Anderson Silva. Really, he lost to the only person if he fought that was really good was Canelo Alvarez, who he lost to. At least he didn't get finished by him. He only goes to decision with him. Marco Reyes he's fought. Anybody that was good he came up against, he just basically lost to. But I'm sure he's a millionaire because he lives in Sinaloa, and he's probably and his dad is obviously mega famous as well. So the fact that he even went into boxing was probably just for fun. Interesting though. Will I tune in? Definitely not. That's the thing. I'm sure a lot of Mexican fans will tune in, and South American fans and that type of thing. American fans probably obviously as well, but. It just doesn't, I'll try to check out the highlights afterwards, but would I actually want to pay for this bout, Kelly? Like, what, would you even hesitate? Would you even think about it?
No.
Yeah.
I'm past, man.
Me too. I'd pass too. I'll just catch the highlights. Because, Anderson Silva hasn't really dazzled us in the last, 5-10 years, really. Yeah. He's been pretty bad in his last, 8 fights. He's been really, really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't even be interested to watch him in MMA right now. So
yeah, exactly. Me too. Yeah, exactly. Me too.
Let's watch Ken Shamrock.
Wow, what a diss! Wow, but you ain't lying. Really, you ain't lying. Really, I'd be honestly more interested to watch Ken Shamrock fight MMA right now.
Let's see what happens. Ken Shamrock versus Dan the Beast.
Severin?
Yeah, something like that. Let's see what these old dudes can do.
One guy's head just falls off.
Shit. Oh man, I like that guy's finger.
Oh yeah, how crazy was that, eh?
Oh, man, but yeah. It'll just be like body part after body part flying.
They didn't really talk about it, but the amount there's so much MMA fights. I've seen fingers get messed up and broken and crooked.
Yeah.
But it must have got twisted right off because it's like a clean break almost. You know what I mean? It's right gone.
Pretty disgusting.
If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm sure it made it made huge headlines, obviously, when it first went down.
Yeah. Well, if you Google it, it's not going to show you anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's just gone. There's not a lot of blood, and it's not it's just kind of just a nub. That's really all it is. They sewed it back on. They they sewed that bitch back on, and he's probably not have full use out of it ever again, but at least it's there.
I didn't want to look at the pictures, but like Facebook made me.
Pretty much they did, yeah.
Because like all these MMA things pop up because I'm into MMA.
Yeah, obviously. Me too.
So it's like I'm just like scrolling down. It's like, oh, here's this guy's nub. It's like, no.
I tried so hard.
It's pretty nasty, man.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty gross. But hey, he's got his finger back on. Kind of interesting though. I've never seen that in MMA before. Dude, straight up lose a finger. That's kind of interesting. I'm
surprised he's like, nah, it's good, man. I don't need the ring finger.
Yeah, I know, and the ring finger too, of all places. Like, I would have thought it was the pinky 100%. I thought his pinky would have got short right off.
Yeah.
But no, it was fucking
just like a random middle.
They don't even really know when it happens. He doesn't even know when it happened. That's what's even crazy. They kind of tried to pinpoint it. It was like during a takedown scramble to get up. Mm-hmm. Like it got caught in just got caught in his hands. Like it got caught in his glove. Yeah. And it just boop.
It was like a pre-existing injury, but he wanted to get it fixed from the organization.
So he just like taped.
So he taped it on before the fight, and then it came off. And he's like, "Oh no, my finger! What a shocking surprise! Guess we should go get it put back on." He had
no insurance.
And it's like, where is it? Oh, I found it conveniently tucked in his glove.
In this little pocket I have hemmed, my finger pocket,
with a little bit of ice in there. He goes to get stitched back on. It's like, thank goodness that worked.
I'm glad that was a coincidence.
That was a long scheme.
Wink.
I had to keep that ice for a week.
I know. He lost. He was trying to like be in the Yakuza, and he cut off like the wrong finger. He's like, oh shit! Now they're not gonna let me in because I'm an idiot.
And then he came up with a brilliant plan.
Yeah. 6 years later, he's in an MMA match where the doctor will actually pay for his stuff.
You probably take it out of the freezer.
Yep. Interesting, though. One bit of interesting new news as well is I always like to talk about the rising stars, especially when you get that call as kind of a young guy to the UFC. It's a pretty big deal, and the guy who just got that phone call from Big Papa Dana is Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Signs with the UFC. Exactly kind of like Kelly was saying, if you're following a lot of UFC and different news websites on Facebook and Twitter and that type of thing, you'll see this guy's name comes up periodically, as he's had a really good go recently with just 2 finishes. But let's just break him down here. 6 degrees of separation. Paddy Pimblett. The Baddie, too. What an interesting nickname. Only 26, so super young. Born in 95. 150. He basically fights at 155. I'm sure he's probably could be at 145 right now if he really applied himself. But we could see him at the 155. Taller, not super tall, but right in their wheelhouse. 5'10" for 155. That's good height for that division. Fighting out of England, but he's not perfect, Kelly. He does have a blemished record a little bit. So his last 2 wins, both in Cage Warriors. That's obviously where he spent his whole career as Cage Warriors. He has a loss. He's got a win against David Martinez, and then Decky Dalton he TKOs. But he has a decision loss to Soren Back, and another decision loss to Nad Narima. So basically 2 nobodies he's lost to by decision, maybe just a bad day or something like that. But all of his victories have been all of his last 3 victories. He's 3-2 in his last 5 fights, even. Which is kind of weird. So the UFC must see something in this guy. Mm-hmm. Not a super outstanding record once he started getting to the top of Cage Warriors. 3-5 in the minor leagues. That's not great. Cage Warriors is on the higher end, especially when it comes to European competition. But still. Let's even break down. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's see who Soren. Okay, so Soren Back is actually a pretty good fighter. Out of Denmark, he's only 13-1, and he only lost. He lost back in 2016 by TKO. So this guy's actually on a 3-fight win streak right now. Actually fought in Bellator most recently to a decision win. Soren Back, the True Viking, is his nickname. So he has a win. So the one dude he lost to, that's kind of what you want on the dudes your negatives are against who, we see these dudes time and time again, Kelly, where they have these super padded stats where they're beating the shit out of these dudes who are just straight up cans. Yeah. And this guy's actually fought some pretty tough competition. The other guy, Nad Narima, He's a younger guy too, 33. He's actually fighting at Team Alpha Male, also out of the UK. He's actually fought in the UFC 4 times. So another dude who he's lost to has fought in the UFC 4 times, and he's only 2-2 in the UFC. Two of his most recent fights have come by loss, one by decision, one by TKO. Not a ton of fights, but he is at least getting action in the UFC. And then he lost way earlier in his career to Cameron Else. Sometimes they always say that, the losses help a dude later on, not have those, not having those jitters of worrying about losing. And, maybe it'll benefit him down the road. He does have a win over a UFC vet in Julian Erosa. That's a pretty big win. A dude who's kind of getting his stuff together. So he has some good wins. So let's see what happens. I'm interested to see. I've only caught his highlights. Let's see what kind of talent that the UFC has picked up here. Very young guy. So next time you're checking out UFC card, keep your eye out for Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Moving right along, huge news for the UFC and for its fans. Really, what direction will the UFC be going with Endeavor buying full ownership of the UFC? Only own 51% of the stock, and they have now bought the remaining from the Fertitas and also from the other partners that they had come in, owning 100% of the UFC. Like I said, let's see where this goes. Endeavor, it's kind of weird. I didn't even know who really they even are, Kelly. There's a talent agency. They own like a bunch. There's like a talent agency for NFL and NHL players. They've made so much fucking money. They bought the Ultimate Fighter, and they also own the Miss Universe talent pageant. They own Miss Universe, which is kind of weird. And bull riding, professional bull riding, they also own. So it's kind of interesting. This, professional bull riding is actually fucking gigantic. It is fucking huge. Just like country music. Somehow it's gigantic. What's wrong with you people? But still, a company that owns a whack load of shit. It just, added another huge piece to their portfolio and the full ownership of the UFC. Obviously, UFC switching over the Reebok deal is going to be officially done this summer, and they're switching over to the Venom gear. It's very unfortunate because it was basically a very slight, basically a spit in the face to the fighters once again. When it came to Venom gear, I like Venom gear, but I know obviously they weren't a part of the negotiation when it came to UFC just wanting to lowball the shit out of the competition. They were very happy to oblige, though, not having to pay as much to the fighters, and it's basically $1,000 extra is really all the fighters get. On the low end. So rather than $3,000 for the fight, now you get $4,000 for the fight. That's really piss when it comes to long-term effects, and then putting food on the table right now. An extra $1,000, in my opinion, is a fucking spit in the face. And I don't think Endeavor had any. Was Endeavor fully behind that? Who knows? They're there to make money, and obviously that's what they do really, really well, is make a ton of fucking money. Interesting news though. Moving forward, Endeavor, will be at the helm. What does this mean to Dana White? Does Dana White, get his stuff? Is he going to be involved in the negotiations down the road, or are they going to bring in somebody else? I think, smart-wise would be to bring him in because he just knows so much about it. Been in the sport, built the sport, and it'd be a bad idea to get rid of him. But, hey, who knows? Money talks, man.
I think they should get rid of Dana White and bring in Scott Croker.
Oh, wow.
I think he'd be better for the organization. The fighters like him more, too.
The fighters like him.
He's a more personal guy.
Yeah,
so I think that'd be a good move if they could do that, but I doubt they get him away from Strikeforce. Or not Strikeforce, Bellator.
Still, that would be a huge honor.
Yeah.
But you are correct. All the fighters have nothing but good things to say about him.
Yeah, so why not have a good boss? Like, everybody likes Bellator, too. I don't know anybody who hates Bellator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, he seems to be doing all right over there.
No, he totally is. And I think that the light heavyweight tournament coming up is a perfect example of that. That's people are going to turn heads, and everyone's going to be tuning in for that.
Yeah.
And it's not just a joke. It's actually going to be a really, really good tournament.
Yeah, and to do that with the UFC would be good too, because then you're not like picking the fights it's not all money fights, right? It's like a tournament. Like, this is actually going somewhere.
Exactly.
That'd be cool if he brought that into the UFC.
I've said that so many times. Tournaments are the best shit ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And I
mean, you can still have the money fights too, though.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. You have to have you have the tournament going on behind the money fights.
Yeah. You can still have the like BMF belts and all that shit.
Yep.
People who don't want to go for the belt, I guess.
Well, so you'll get that belt next. You know what I mean? You win that tournament, then you get the chance at the belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you get the chance. That's what it's all about. Or money and the belt. The belt shot. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't think they need Dana White.
Get rid of him. They don't need anybody. Get rid of him.
That's true. Like they most of the commentary team, I think they should keep. Well, I'm not. I'm pretty biased. I've been listening to Joe Rogan and all that since I was like fucking 21 or something like shit like that. So I kind of like them as a commentary team, but they don't need them. Like I've heard so many people say that it'd be better off without them.
With no talking.
Well, not just no talking, but like a different commentary team.
Oh,
altogether.
okay. No, I think I used to really hate Joe Rogan's commentary in the earlier days.
Yeah.
But he grew on me, and I think he's obviously gotten way, way better, obviously too.
But some people think he's got worse.
Really?
And more bias.
Well, I think the show, you know what I mean? Obviously, he's getting a lot of hate for his show.
Oh, he's getting so much hate.
And people translate it all over to the show. So they think,
yeah, I guess that's
well,
true.
I hate his show, so I'm going to hate anything he does.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's where it's coming from a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't really listen to his show, to tell you the truth. I'm not that I'm opposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, you know what I mean? I just have never really tuned into it.
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot of good interviews where I've watched the interview.
Yeah.
Like on YouTube or something like that later on.
Yeah. But I'm with you. I like Joe screaming in the background.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. It gets me pumped.
Well, he's so knowledgeable too, and then like where his knowledge has grown about the sport, and then not only that, but he's still a fan. I think at the end of the day, he's a fan.
And then when he says stupid shit, we just laugh about it for like a couple hours or some shit. You know what I mean? It's funny.
Creates a meme.
Yeah. So I don't mind it.
Keep up the good work, Joe.
Yeah. But I think they could replace Dana. DC's good too, but they could replace him. I'm just saying, like they could.
Yeah, no, I exactly they could. I like DC. I know, it's funny you mention it, Kelly, because even Michael Bisping was being vocal recently, saying, "Hey, I want to do a show with Joe Rogan." Mm-hmm. When the hell is that going to happen? Because I think Michael Bisping is actually really, really good too.
Yeah, I like Bisping.
Yeah.
I think he's super good. I don't know why he's not doing more shows.
Yeah, me too. They usually pair him. You know what I mean? The one guy, I don't mind Dominic Cruz, but he's starting to get on my nerves.
Yeah. No, I hear that too, man.
I mean?
Yeah. No, he's kind of like egotistical, and when he talks about like fighters, he's almost talking like how they're inferior to him.
Big time. No, the big time. He just comes across as the biggest fucking prick on the planet.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Just his tone, everything about him. Everything.
But I think that's what it got him to those championship fights.
Of course.
Too, so.
Of course.
But I just don't think it translates well over the air.
No, it definitely doesn't. He knows what he's talking about. I'm not taking anything away from him, but coming across exactly, you got to have a man's man, or every man.
Yeah, every man's man.
Or every woman, I wouldn't be opposed to a woman being on
Misha
it.
Tate.
Yeah, Misha Tate was always really, really good. Exactly. Yeah, Misha Tate was always very, very good. Ronda would never do good at it.
No.
That Alima Lee McFarland, she's done a few Bellator broadcasts. And I really enjoy her as well. I think she has some really good insight as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving right along. Speaking of firing Dana White, the Ultimate Fighter 29 has been officially announced, and the coaches will be Brian Ortega and Alexander Volkanovski. It's saying it was supposed to air. It was supposed to air March. Obviously, we're in April now, so that will not be going down. But apparently they already have the cast. The cast will be 135 pounders and 185ers. So it obviously obviously COVID has played a role in the delays of this.
135 versus 135 and 185.
You got it, yeah, 135.
That'd be a good fight circus.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two best 135s is gonna fight the best 185.
Count me in. I'd be tuning in. That's hilarious.
In Superman costume and like Batman and Robin or something like that.
That was one of the worst fight ever. That was
so
like
funny.
200-pound guys. If you haven't seen this video, it's like one guy in a Spider-Man costume, and then like full Spider-Man costume, and then one other guy in a Batman costume and a Robin costume fighting him.
Funny. And the guy in Robin costume's so small.
And the Robin guy, exactly, he's like 5'2". Like I'd be surprised if he was 100 pounds.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised. And even Spider-Man is not a big guy either. He is maybe 140, like at his heaviest.
Yeah. But he seems to know how to fight better than
Yeah, he could throw a head kick, and he was
Yeah.
throwing punches, and he was throwing combos.
And so he's
and Batman and Robin were just atrocious, and they were getting pieced up, especially Robin. Robin was like the battering ram. Batman was just standing back. He didn't want any of Spider-Man.
It was so much fun to watch.
And
man.
Spider-Man was just tagging them both. His spidey sense was tingling that day.
Whoever thought that up, fucking genius.
Yeah.
That is amazing. It's amazing. Fucking Batman and Robin fight Spider-Man.
Get the crap
And
kicked out of him.
MMA.
And even when he was like, it was like Batman like tries to go low on him, and he's still cranking, like fighting back against Robin, just smoking him while he's got like another guy tied around his waist. Check it out if you haven't seen it.
That's a good video.
Spider-Man fights Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that's a good video.
Very interesting. No children were hurt in the making of that.
Unless Robin was a child.
No. He was a very little man.
Yeah, that's true.
You're hilarious.
Oh, man.
But anyways, who knows when it's going down. Either way, it's going to be interesting. I think both are good coaches. You know what I mean? Volkanovski, I think, deserves it. And Brian Ortega could bring... we always like to see the street guy. Obviously, going to have some talking about Brian Ortega's upbringing and shit like that, and how that can translate over to help his fighters. And so I think it's actually going to be a real great season. When it starts airing, it's supposed to be airing, like I said, any day now. Must be this month is when they're going to start doing it. I think it's going to be more of a live setting because they're just trying to cram it out with COVID and everything like that going on. So it's I'm excited. I'm honestly excited. I can't wait to hear more about it and to see when they actually pull the trigger and start having the commercials for it and the drama. I love who doesn't like the drama. Should be good. And lastly, the biggest announcement of the week. Hot tamale. We had so much news to talk about this week here, Kelly. There was so much shit I had to cut out. But bar none, any way you stack it, this somehow has to be the biggest announcement of the week. And it will be none other than Leon Edwards taking his streak against none other than none other, Nate Diaz. UFC 262, and not only that, Kelly, it will be a 5-round non-title co-main event. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see this one go on, Kelly. As a 5-rounder, when there already is a title bout going on for the 155-pound belt, and we will see two dudes tangle it up at 170. I don't like the odds for Nate Diaz when it comes down to this one, man. I think he's more of a natural 150, 155. I think obviously he's fought successfully at 170 many times, but Leon Edwards is gigantic for 170. And let's see how they stack up, man. I'm going Nate. I'm picking Nate Diaz. Who you picking in this one, man? Who do you like in this one?
I think if it goes like the 5 rounds, I think Nate has a possibility of submitting Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
But because he bleeds so easy and he has so much scar tissue, and Leon Edwards, he's good with his elbows, knees, stuff like that. I think he can make Diaz bleed and lose a fight.
Huh? Interesting concept.
So I think
wow, what a way to look at it. Absolutely. I think the odds of that are quite great, actually.
Yeah, totally. So I think if it's quick, I think Nate's gonna bleed and Leon Edwards is gonna win that. If it goes on, I think Nate Diaz could submit Leon Edwards. I think he probably has way better cardio just because Diaz has best cardio in the game right now.
Definitely.
So. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna go. I think Leon Edwards is gonna win. I think he will win.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's been in the main event a few times already too. So he's had 3 fights in the main event recently. Obviously, with the last one going to a no contest in the second with the eye poke. I'm really glad that they went past that. I got nothing against Bilal Muhammad, but to have him already, tussling with a dude who should be going for the belt, I thought was a waste of talent. Really, I thought it was a waste of a card. And like I said, nothing against Bilal Muhammad, but he's just got a lot of time ahead of him. Even at the weigh-ins, he was way smaller. He was already getting pieced up in that matchup too. Where he was Leon Edwards was slowly starting to pick him apart, and I honestly thought he had no business being in that main event. Obviously, he was a last-second replacement, and good on him for having the nuts to be able to do that step up. But I'm glad they moved on and they did not do the rematch. That's all I gotta say about that. I did not. No one wanted to see that rematch.
Nobody,
and
except for the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. Leon Edwards especially did not want to see that, and I'm glad they moved on from it. And we'll see a huge bout, for Nate Diaz to step up. Leon Edwards has a hard time finding dancing partners. And I can see why. The guy's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fight win streak right now at 170, which is hard enough as it is. He hasn't fought the toughest competition. Fighting at Donald Cerrone, who was a 155er. Beating Rafael Dos Anjos, who was in a 155er. He has that win over Vincent Luque. But that was about 3 years ago, which is a tough. That guy's a tough 170. But he does have the loss to Kamaru Usman.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. So he hasn't fought a ton of dudes with that 170 power. So I think that's what he's just trying to get. He's just trying to get in and start fighting some of those guys, and he just can't get in there. Whether he's injured or different things, he's kind of just had his whole career kind of just derailed. Only losing, he lost by disqualification in one of his earlier matches, but he's only lost by decision, and the other loss was split decision too. So very, very tough dude, and I think almost like he's still got a lot of time on his clock too. He's 29, so I'm glad to see Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz here coming down here. But like I said, it's going to be
right now.
He really is. It's going to be a tough matchup for Nate. Nate's 35. His last loss was that stoppage to Jorge Masvidal for the belt, so he hasn't even fought. That was only 2019, so he hasn't fought in a few years though. Which is normal for Diaz's.
Yeah. Well, they fight all the time. Just
not in the just not in the ring. Should be interesting though. Very, very, very interesting matchup. But one of those announcements when it got announced, I thought, "Fuck, what a great matchup!" I'm going to be super interested, especially that it's going to be a 5-rounder as the co-main. Mm-hmm. That this would be one of those fights where those dudes are just going to be getting geared up in the 3rd round. So I think that was a really smart move to kind of go against the grain, and go against tradition and really pull a new one out. It's not like it's rocket science, but they pulled out a new one that would have thought have been unheard of, and something that would be a cardinal sin. But they said, hey, fuck it, let's have a 5-round co-main event. This card is fucking really stacking up, man, and it's going to be going down right in the middle of May. And you got Tony Ferguson versus Dariush. Obviously the co-main event we just talked about in great detail. Edson Barbosa versus Shane Burgos. Jack Hermanson versus Edmund Shabaizin as well. That should be a really good one. And that's just the main card. You got all these great matchups for the main card. And then the undercard, you got, Lando Venata versus Mike Grundy. That should be a really good one too. Lando Venata is a really great striker. Rafael Alves versus Damir Isagalovov. And even Jacare's on the undercard, man. Jacare's on the undercard. Even Caitlin Chukagian, who was a title contender recently, she's on the undercard. Alex Perez takes on Matt Schnell, which should be a good fight as well. And even the sister of Valentina Shevchenko, Antonia Shevchenko, will be taking on Andrea KJB Lee as well on this one. So you got one hell of a super stacked card. Right from, tore up from the floor up here. Let's see how many of these fights make it, obviously, to the middle of May. We're still over a month away for this one, but I'm geared up for May, man. I'm absolutely geared up for May, and this card here is going to be just that, exactly that. And to go down to be, in front of a live crowd too, I could not be more excited. Obviously, the huge quick sellout that went on with it too. Obviously, there's no surprise there that this one sold out very quickly. I think it was only 17,000 seats, but still, that's a lot more than 0. Liking it though, liking it. It's, like I said, man, so much news to get to this week. Who are you, Kelly? Any gains? You still resting up, buddy? Did you work any cardio?
I didn't do any cardio yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start this week, though. I just had way too much stuff to do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm making excuses right now.
No, but sometimes moving around. At least you're not just sitting around. You're actually doing other things. Going around and doing stuff and housework. All that shit adds up.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Actually, going out of your way to do nothing though, that'd be a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I do quite regularly.
I think I'm just gonna start running around the park though.
There you go.
Just, see how long it takes me. The first time, and then see how long it takes me after a month. And
nice.
Maybe just try and keep doubling it. Maybe, who knows?
That was the only really time I liked running was when I run with my dogs.
Yeah.
That was the only real time I really enjoyed running. Other than that, without my dogs or without music or something, running is the absolute fucking worst.
Yeah, I need music.
Treadmill's probably the worst. Treadmill's the worst. Running outside is at least interesting, and you're getting in the sights and the sounds in the air, and it's and that type of thing.
Yeah, that's why I like the parks, man. It's just wilderness. You're just with nature. So, yeah, man. I don't like running with people though because I push myself. And then it's if the person beside me is I'm tired, I'm just slowing down. It's I don't want to keep running at their pace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to go.
Well, you just want to go at your pace, exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Their pace may be a little bit different than your pace. Not that you're faster or slower, but then exactly that. They want to talk
yeah. Yeah, I never understood those running groups.
I know.
It didn't make any sense to me. I just I put it into music, run around the park a few times, and it's just nice.
So weird.
Yeah.
I know. I hear you on that. Like I said, unless I was running with my dog, running was never my favorite thing to do. But when I was in my most fit, I definitely ran. I ran a lot, but I was more into sprints and that type of thing. I found that you build a ton of muscle with sprints and that type of thing. There's nothing wrong with long distance running. I think it's super super great for your cardio and shit like that too. But it's obviously just more work.
That's what I like though. I like the cardio where it's you're you don't think you can make it, but you just push yourself
big time.
anyways. You know what I mean?
Big time. Well, I think that's what the sprints and the kind of like the quick distance. Still pushing your body to as much as you can. Absolutely, but that's something we can break down later on. Does long sprints? Is that doing long sprints quickly against long distance? What does better for you?
Sprints are definitely better.
Yeah.
They're definitely better for you. You get more wear and tear from long distance running.
Ah, yes.
And also high intensity training.
Yeah.
Where you bring your heart rate up quickly, and then you kind of lower it and just up and down. It's kind of it just burns more calories. I forget why. I've read it so long ago. But yeah, I can tell you right now, sprints.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Burn
Good to
more
know.
Calories and it'll be better for you than
good to know.
Distance. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not like I said. I can't remember why.
No, I've heard other people say that too, other workout nuts as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like I said a long time ago. It's not what's best for you. It's what you'll do. You know what I mean? If you enjoy something and you'll actually do it, that's what you should be doing. Because if you're not enjoying it, you're just gonna quit.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's gonna lead to nothing. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Even if you're trying to work out, you gotta find something that you like. You're 100%. Why the hell would you do something you don't like?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think to some people it's I need to get in shape, so I have to run and lift weights and do this. It's you don't have to do everything. Just pick one thing that you enjoy doing and then start that.
Exactly. Maybe they just don't like working out.
Yeah. At all. Oh, bed's pretty nice.
It's like that guy on Tosh.0 that he was that's all he did was he would curl weights from bed.
Yeah.
That was his whole thing. And he would always be bragging about his muscles, and it would just this his arm was gigantic.
Yeah.
But it was and he could just curl a ton of weight, but that's all he did. Was just lie in bed and curl weights.
That is hilarious.
That was his whole workout.
Well, he did it. For the very lazy, what I would suggest, get a good exercise bike, because the bad ones you're never gonna use because it actually feels like shit. It just sucks. Get a good exercise bike. Probably off not Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, something like that, because they're going really cheap right now. Because at the beginning of COVID, a bunch of people bought treadmills, A bunch of people bought those exercise bikes, shit like that, and now they're all selling them because they're over the fitness kick.
Oh yeah, of course.
So they're going really cheap. I say buy an exercise bike, park it in front of your TV, and just sit on it and fucking ride while you watch TV.
Yeah,
Who
good
cares?
idea.
It's gonna strengthen your leg muscles and it's gonna give you a bit of a cardio boost. Is better than just laying down.
100%.
That's my suggestion.
There you
for
go.
the lazy.
There you go. For the lazies. There you go, lazies. Get off your arse.
You'd be surprised, man, because I think most people, they'll start doing it and they'll be like, oh, whatever, it's just, getting a little bit better shape. And then once you start feeling better, you actually start wanting to do it, and they'll get more and more into it. And then sometimes it leads into other things.
Absolutely. Too. You see the gains, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Gains. Getting swole. All right, then. Back by popular demand. Reviewing the reviews. I've been watching, it's funny enough, Kelly, I've been watching Hell's Kitchen. I know it's the seasons from last year. Well, I think it was from a year ago, and they just had no choice but to show it just because of COVID. Yeah. Obviously, it's pre-COVID was when it was recorded. And I used to watch the show when it first came out. I thought it was pretty funny. But it's like a lot of reality TV where it's really not that real. Some of the stuff is real, but it's always, that's when it kind of crept in my mind in the earlier days of it too. It's like all the challenges always come right down to the wire. It always is super even, and it's always going to come down to the last plate, the last two plates against each other. Who's going to do it? So and they still do it even to this season. Exact same thing. It came down to the last plate every fucking time. So it is super fake that way. But I enjoy it because just Gordon Ramsay is a lovable character, and throwing food and being mad and calling people donkeys and horse shit and shit like that. That's just good fun. But the winner of the season got to be the head chef for Hell's Kitchen Lake Tahoe. And so, let's review that. I was thinking, where the hell am I going to review? But let's review that. So doing Hell's Kitchen Lake Tahoe, let's just crack straight into this one here. And we got KCS 2 stars 4 months ago. This person was not happy. If you're expecting the legendary Gordon Ramsay high-quality food, don't bother. Our food was marginal at best. My first round of scallops were cold and covered in chives, not on the menu, which I'm allergic to. Who's allergic to chives?
This person.
It's like an onion. You're allergic to onions?
This person. That's it.
I've never heard someone allergic to chives. Okay. Steak was well done. Literally had to saw to eat. Ordered medium. They literally had to saw. Like, could I get a saw with this, please? That's what you mean by literally. I literally had to use a saw. Interesting. It took so long to get the skulls back, I wasn't gonna ask for the steak to be refired. Our Wellington was okay, but not great. None of our food came out at the same time either. It was my son's birthday, which we told them, and they wished him happy birthday when we were seated. But while the other tables got candles in celebration, my son got nothing. Very frustrating. Almost $600 for 5 people. This was supposed to be a special night for my son. Don't go, or that's just like, I'm gonna have to paraphrase that one. Don't go if you want to have a great meal. If you want to have a great meal, it won't happen. Very upset. I love how they throw in that they're allergic to scallops and that it was their son's birthday. So like they're just supposed to roll out the red carpet, like. Everything is supposed to be, oh, wow, it's a person's birthday at a restaurant? Well, just this way. Your hand job awaits out back, sir.
It's like, oh, it's your birthday, so we'll give you good customer service.
Yeah, we were...
we were going to give you terrible customer service.
But since it's your birthday...
It's like, well, who cares? Like, they're going to give you the same service no matter
They didn't
what.
roll out the red carpet for my son. They did not kiss his feet. They didn't even suck him off while he was eating these scallops.
He ordered noodles. Obviously, he was supposed to get sucked off.
Exactly. That's day one stuff. This is the quality Gordon Ramsay gives?
That's hilarious.
The concierge did not wipe up his jism. Terrible. Love that review, though. What a piece of shit. A lot of love for this place, though. All the pictures I'm seeing, they actually look pretty good. This is hilarious. What the... There's a picture. Someone's got a picture of their dog. Their dog looks super cute as hell. Look at that dog.
Oh,
That's got nothing to do with the restaurant.
I'd post them too, though.
Yeah.
It's a cute dog.
That's super cute dog. It looks like some kind of Shar-Pei chow mix. Cute as fucking hell. They ordered to go. That's all they said. They always ordered to go. Here's a bunch of pictures of my dog.
Here's my dog.
No.
He's a good dog.
Don't need to twist my arm. There we go. Here's another one. This is kind of long. All right, let's do this one anyways. AR, 2 reviews, Kelly. 1 star 2 months ago. Ordered 3 dishes and 2 starters. Waiter asked us if we prefer flat or sparkling water. When we... Okay. Water when we were first seated. We asked for regular water. We were served bottled water poured into our glasses. 2 bottles were poured, which we received a bill resulting in $20 of water. Whoa! That's America for you. Water is, especially in like places like Nevada, the water sucks. Tap water is like undrinkable in that shithole.
Yeah.
Still, $20. Whew. Macaroni and cheese was dry, greasy, and just salty. Not cheesy. Brussels sprouts were decent,
macaroni.
But very oily. I know. Salty macaroni with no cheese.
Sounds nasty, man.
Caesar salad ordered. 1 with chicken, 1 with no meat. Salad was overpowered by lemon juice. Added on top of the salad. Waiter delivered their plates and advised us to mix the salad as lemon juice was added after the salad was mixed. Maybe if you wouldn't have been mixed in before being served, it would have made a difference. That is true. Like, you know what I mean? Give them lemon wedges to put the lemon on themselves, but still.
Yeah.
However, the way it was served, even with mixing it on the plate, every bite tasted like lemon juice. Main plate was a chicken dish with kale and potatoes. The dish was overpowered by salt and teriyaki-like flavor. Tasted like a $10 Panda Express dish. It was overly just terrible.
Wow.
To say we were disappointed would be an understatement. Would not recommend it. Would not return. Not to mention, while we were seated quickly, the actual service for food took about an hour. Wow.
Wouldn't recommend unless you're looking for Panda Express and there's no Panda Express nearby.
Yeah, exactly. I want Panda Express now. This one's there's a response from the owner, and it was obviously not from Gordon Ramsay. It's just like a blanket thank you or blanket sorry. We are so sorry your experience fell so short of expectations, and hope you discussed it with your server or your room manager. Please accept our apologies. That was it. We don't give no like, here, send us an email so we can send you a gift certificate or something like that. No, it's like, we're sorry. Sorry your food sucked. Bye. Lots of really good reviews. The place actually looks really amazing, actually. So look at those pictures. The place actually looks really cool. And all the other pictures of the food looks absolutely impeccable. Like it all looks like perfectly fooked. Perfectly fooked.
Perfectly fooked.
Listen, here's another one. Here we go. Go ahead, Kelly.
I was going to say, there's not a lot of crazies here. I guess because it's expensive food.
Yeah, exactly. There's some. There's some. I'll read 2 more here, and then we're doing good. We'll read 2 more here, and we'll call it here. Because we got a newbie review here, Kelly. KF1 review and new podcast. Newbie review. 2 stars, 2 months ago. Food very bland. Nothing special. I was hoping for something extremely good, and I did not get that here. Service was good, but the layout was very open, and you had no privacy. Privacy at a restaurant? What?
People usually like minding their own business.
I know, but still, exactly. What do you need privacy for?
Yeah. Plus, you go to like a public place. We're usually like you're sitting back to back with another table.
You expect to be booths everywhere?
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Open concept has been like a thing for a while now. Everyone wants to do open concept, and you're going to go to a restaurant for privacy.
You, like slide your like fucking table door open or something.
Yeah, like they want. You need privacy when you go to a restaurant. Go to a sushi place with the rooms.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Very weird. This guy was definitely expecting a hand job for his birthday. The response is even better. We apologize for your experience. Fell short of expectations. Thank you for letting us know. That's it. I love these. I love the responses. They do not give two shits. Here we go. We'll round it off with this one. KB3 reviews 2 stars a week ago, Kelly. Brand new review here. For the hype that this restaurant has, it didn't live up. The service was great. The plates looked amazing, but the atmosphere was really loud. So they're gonna hate on the place for the atmosphere for being loud at like a pub. Give me a break. The Caesar salad was large and the lemon zest was a nice touch to make it fresh. It took forever to get an entree after the salad. We ordered a side of mac and cheese, and that was as dry as cardboard. The potato puree was good, but lacked flavor. We ordered the tomahawk steak for 2. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but it was fatty and lacked flavor, and would in no way be for 2 when you cut all that fat. A $50 steak at best, not worth the $125. If you are in South Lake Tahoe and you want a good steak, go to the Sierra Steak and Chop House in Monteblue. Wow, even throwing in a plug in there for another place. I wonder if this guy works there. Lake Tahoe is known for being like a richer community too. But and just you're hearing on this one here, it's almost like everyone's trying to be a food critic. They're just trying to go down there and take Gordon Ramsay down a peg.
And he kept saying like things had no flavor, but it was good.
Yeah, I know.
How can
exactly.
it be good if there's no flavor?
I think there's a huge ass piece of shit, and they just need something to complain about. I ate it all. It was terrible, but I ate it all, every last bite.
And it was good, but I hated it.
But it wasn't what I was expecting.
There's no flavor, and it was dry.
Not bad,
but it was good.
Not bad. We went outside of our box here, and picked something different. I think it did okay. Maybe just it was more topical than anything. But I'd go there. I'd give it a shot. It seems like it's really expensive though. I'm cheap as shit, so there's that.
I don't spend $100. Sorry, I wouldn't spend $100 on dinner.
Yeah, it's especially if you're with a few people and you're paying, but still, I hear you on that. Like $100 per person. Yeah, it have to be one hell of a special occasion.
I'll make my own. Thanks.
Thanks.
I'll fucking pull a bowl. I'd rather pull a bowl of cereal and eat that than go out and eat $100 dinner.
Take that, Gordon. Yeah, I agree with you. Well then, let's get a little breather in here, Kelly. We'll be right back after these brief messages. Here at the Montbleu Steakhouse, we encourage all of our patrons to express if it's their birthday upon entering the facilities. We will have our wait staff either give you one hell of a tug job, or for our VIP members, a very satisfying and salty BJ. Not like those jerk-offs up at Hell's Kitchen. I don't know how they get customers without sucking them off. If you know what I'm saying. Montbleu Steakhouse, great for steaks and blowjobs. On I-52.
Next time you're at the grocery store, pick up some Bill Cosby brand melatonin. It'll help you sleep. You'll be right out.
Bacon. Nothing else needs to be said. Bacon. It's the best shit on the planet. If y'all ain't eating it, y'all ain't know what you're missing out on. It's the best shit out there. Bacon. Super delicious. And be sure to wash down those pieces of those bacon strips with a tall glass of water. Bacon and water, a perfect combo since 1802. Don't wrap bacon around your dick. If you use bacon on your penis, could cause a rash. Consult a physician.
Bacon. It doesn't feel as good as it tastes.
If you do decide to use bacon on your penis, I would suggest not to cook it first.
I was trying to make a treat for the wife, and I burnt my penis off.
I wrapped some of those suckers around my pecker, hoping to get her to bite down on it. Instead, I just got a 3rd-degree burn. I told her it wasn't chlamydia from that hoe down the street, but she wouldn't believe me. It's bacon grease, baby. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials and go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water on the house. You know I'm talking tap water. Let's talk some motherfucking video games. I just kind of played a ton of Madden this week. Madden 21, playing it. You know, it's different than Madden 2020. The Ultimate Team, you know, that's all I ever play is Ultimate Team on these games. I don't mind the franchise. The franchise is fun. And playing head-to-head, I hate because Madden and FIFA probably have the worst group of people that play it, of the biggest pieces of shit and the biggest, you know what I mean, people who are going to hack and look for exploits and cheating losers, or people who just straight up do nothing but play this game. You're going to come up across, and that's exactly what happened to me. So I'm just playing Ultimate Team, and I've just started, basically. I've only been playing for a week, so my team is really low. My team is only 83 overall out of 99. And I was going through trying to do some challenges to build up my team, build up some money, and you know, buy more cards, get more guys. And I clicked on the wrong button, and I ended up going to do a head-to-head game. And Kelly, the guy I got matched up with, like I said, I'm 83. My team is not very good at all.
Yeah.
They matched me up with a guy who is 99 overall, and he has like all the best characters in the game you can get at all the positions. And so he starts off the game by pausing it for like a solid 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't want to back out, because if you back out, you get a penalty against you. So I didn't want to back out. I didn't want to do anything. I'm like, okay, this guy must be backing out or something. Thank God, because he's going to murder me. Nope. He was just super setting up all his defensive matchups so he could super crush me. And that's exactly what happened. I got absolutely blown out, and I stayed on for the whole game. And this guy was just taking so much of his sweet ass time. I was like, dude, you know what I mean? My team is way, way lower than you, even without maxing out all your shit and doing all your extra crap. You know what I mean? You could have whooped my ass.
Yeah.
And it was just an absolute blowout. It was just so annoying, though. It was just so annoying. It's like, dude, get on with it already. Just fucking beat me already. Super annoying. Got absolutely crushed. But Madden is fun. You know, the Ultimate Team is fun. It's a little bit different. Right now they're doing an Easter thing right now too. And so you get Easter candy, you cash in for different cards. But like I said, it is different. The market system is a lot different now, where rather than you used to be able to buy packs of cards for cheaper than you could now. Now basically the lowest kind of pack starts at basically 50,000 coins, which is huge. That was unheard of in the other game. You get more coins. They got a lot more things to trade in as well. So it's kind of got the good and the bad. I do enjoy the flow of this one. I've had a few glitches in it, which is, when this game first came out, it was unplayable. Basically, they've obviously fixed it a lot since last October. And it is an older game, but it was free on EA Access, so that's the reason why I got it, and that's the reason why I'm playing it, and that's the reason why it's okay. That's why I would give it, if I had to pay for it, I'd be irate. But the game's okay. I'm just going through the challenges. Nothing really spectacular. My team's obviously, my team's at 86 now. Slowly but surely, it's just different. I think that's the hardest part. I'm trying to wrap my head around the Ultimate Team. It is just different, really, with how you get your players and that type of thing. So I focus more on defense rather than offense this time. So my offense is atrocious, but my defense is starting to get pretty stacked. And like I said, I'll take it by a year. I just find myself getting tied up in it doing the challenges, and I'll end up, I'll look at the clock. I've been playing for an hour after, just from doing simple challenges and stuff like that. So just things like that. So, I'm sure I'll play more of it. I'm not going to be probably as into it as I was in previous years, especially 2020. I thought was a really good one because it was I had taken a step back from the whole series, and to get back into 2020 was good. And 2021, it seems a bit more smooth, but a bit chunkier in other areas, if that makes sense at all. But Stadia, I got. So the game I got was Division 2. I got.
Oh,
nice. It was a. I got it for $1.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Because Stadia gave me a $10 credit. They gave me a $10 I could put towards any game I wanted.
Yeah.
So I got Division 2 because I only had to pay $1.90 for it.
Fuck.
I know. So I got an awesome game for it, and man, oh man, I've only scratched the surface on it. What a good fucking game! Really? Did you play it too? Yeah.
I had it on Xbox.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't have it on my PC.
Oh, okay. Man, a lot of fun, eh? You know what I mean? It's just like how you do it now, you know, in the game, like how you level your guy. Like I said, I barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Just how you level your guy up with either that little suitcase gun or shields or the drone and shit like that. That seems like it's going to be really a lot of fun. And just, you know, I found it is a bit better than the first one at taking cover and kind of shooting around the cover and kind of knowing where your attack's coming from and just kind of taking it easy. I was trying to go in guns a-blazing the first little while, and I was dying. I'm like, why the hell am I dying? Because I'm going in guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
I'm like an idiot. And, you know, it's somewhat realistic where you can only take so many shots. And I really like the animations, the feel of it, the feel of shooting people and being shot at. I think they really honed in on that very, very well. Like just using kind of like the trench warfare, you know, the taking cover warfare. Mm-hmm. I think they've done a really, really good job on it. And on Stadia, it is seamless and absolutely super, super flawless. The graphics are absolutely amazing on it. And so, like I said, for a $2 game, because my Stadia my free Stadia trial is over for I had it for 2 months, and now I actually had to pay the $11, but I got the $10 voucher, so I basically spent $4 on a game that was on sale. So they have a pretty decent sale going on right now with a lot of different games, a lot of different add-ons and shit like that. They're slowly but surely adding more and more content. And I'm really liking the pace of it. And even my son was like, can we get another controller for Stadia? And I was like, yeah, why the hell not? And so I'll probably get another controller down the road here. And really liking it. Division 2 is a real home run. I'll obviously go back to Cyberpunk 2. Like I said, I really want to go back to Cyberpunk, but I'm just going to take a break. Just taking a break from it. I think if I were to dive back into Cyberpunk super quick, yeah. I think I'd really be bored with it. So I'm going to play Division for a little while, play a little Madden for a little while, and then I'll go back to Cyberpunk and start my new character.
Yeah, I really like Division 1 as well.
Yeah, it was a good game.
But yeah, 2's good. I miss the snow. Like the snow atmosphere in 1 really like I don't know, it's just I loved it. I don't know.
I know what you mean.
Like the environment and just running around in the snow and just hearing it is fucking awesome. But the game in general is a really good game.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it doesn't have a huge following, but it definitely does have a following.
Yeah.
Like people play it, like people still online playing it.
Oh yeah, big time. I thought maybe the first one was just it became a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
But I think the second one is I'm already finding it's really, really diversified. That was half my decision making in that as well. It was either really between that because that game was on sale, and then the Wildlands, not the Wildlands, the Ghost Recon Breakpoint was the other newest title that had come out as well. So and that one was $20.
Yeah.
So I would have got it for $10, but still, I was like, what, I'll give. You had given it a good review earlier. A guy I work with had said it was a really great game too. So I thought, how can I lose for $2? How can I really lose?
Yeah.
What did you get up to this week, man?
So not a whole hell of a lot of video games.
Really?
Yeah, just been pretty busy, but. I did play a little bit of Apex. Nothing new's happening in that. I think it's like 30 more days for the season.
Okay.
They reset the ranked, so I went down to bronze, but now I'm back to silver. I'm almost at gold again. Still trying to make that platinum. I haven't done it yet, and it's always because of my teams, man.
Fucking assholes.
Like if I didn't have to rush in and try to save my teams all the time, I'd be doing so well. They act like they're so good. And they'll just rush the other team. I'm like, okay, you must be doing good. You must be pretty good. I'm right behind you, though. You're obviously way in front of me because you're so good. You're just, running off by yourself. And then they get dropped, right away. And then I'm all like, well, I'm obviously going to die because now it was 1 against 3. Yeah. And then it was another 1 against 3. And now I'm in the last one.
You're coming at them like ninjas one at a time.
Yeah, so it's so stupid, man. So... I think if I got like a good team like a
Yep.
few times in a row, right at the end of gold, I could get platinum. But I'm always like getting sent back because of that. But
That's the worst. That's
Yeah.
painful, man.
yeah. So I've been just played a little bit of Apex. I think they're
Yep.
gonna have one more event before the season's
Okay.
up. I'm not quite sure what that is. But not video games related, but just things that I got. I got this new Garmin GPS.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty cool. I got it for my truck. It tells like the speedometer.
Oh,
One
really?
side, yeah, and
Wow.
it'll tell you like the what the speed is supposed to be above that, and then when you go over the speed, it actually like it'll get a little bit bigger and turn red, and then
Wow.
like if there's like a road change speed, like speed change up
Yep.
ahead, it'll like ding, like it'll sound like that airplane
Yeah.
ding. And it'll tell you, like, it'll warn you that this is speed change up ahead, which I had on, like, I was going 80 and it just turns to 60 for no reason.
Wow. That was nice telling you that. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And then it also, like, connects to your phone, gets text messages. You can make phone calls from it, so you can,
Nice.
like, throw your phone in a bag because it's illegal to have anywhere except for, like, mounted in
Yeah.
BC right now. Like, you can't even have it beside you. It's crazy.
It's almost like making your car a smart car.
Yeah. So, like, and it has it's pretty good GPS. Free lifetime maps and traffic, so it actually like shows you like
Wow.
busy roads, stuff like that. What else does it do? You can do like phone calls from it. Like it's pretty clear. Like there's a little mic on it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I got that. It's totally touch screen. It's like a 7-inch screen almost.
Yep.
So it's a pretty big screen, but I didn't like using my phone. Like I know Google Maps are good, but like
Yeah.
I think the Garmin maps are just as good as Google. And
No, of course. That's all they do.
yeah, and I didn't want to put I don't always like using my phone like on the mount there and just like using my phone for maps. So this works a lot better.
Nice.
For me.
Yeah. And it's not a phone, right? They're not gonna. No cop's gonna really hassle you over it, right?
Yeah, totally. And then another thing I got was these like new Unkey, I think it's like UNKEY, these little earbuds from Amazon.
Oh, cool.
They were on sale for like $30 from like 50 something. So I was like, why not? They actually work really good, man. Like,
Nice.
I've listened to the earpods,
Yep.
and these ones are like just as good, and they're like $30.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a fucking earbud technology's coming a long way, man.
Hasn't it ever? I know, eh? It's so popular.
Yeah.
I don't. Me personally, the earbuds. I don't know. It's just my ear or something. I just never get a good fit. I always end up finding they fall out of my ears after like they'll just like work their way out. I don't know. I just never got a good fit in my ear, so I always have to go with the ear muffs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But man, do you ever? That's what I'm like, always wondering. Like, how do these people have these things in their ear all the time and not falling? Like, I see everyone's got earbuds now.
Yeah.
The wireless earbuds.
Usually comes with like a few different sizes.
Yeah.
I usually find one that kind of works, but once in a while it will fall out.
Oh, okay.
I just pick it up, wipe it off. I don't really care, but there are some that like will wrap around your ears too.
Yeah.
So when they pop out, you can just pop them back in. Like it will not actually gonna fall out. Like there's a whole bunch.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. Like, it comes in like this little case, and so when you lift up the case and pull them out, that's when it'll start syncing. So if you already have it synced to your phone, it'll just automatically connect. You put
Nice.
it right back in the case, and they start charging automatically,
Oh,
just like a
wow.
battery inside the case itself. And then you can actually just charge the case.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. So it's got like a little portable battery.
Yeah. I don't know. It's super convenient.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck, that's insane technology.
yeah. So not a lot of video games, but I had bought a few toys.
Nice.
So I thought I'd talk about those
Nice.
instead. Yeah, Apex Legends. Not a lot going on right now. Just getting frustrated with my teams, I guess.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
That sucks. Is if you are gonna buy a video game, now is the time. There's a spring sale going on right now for Xbox. Is there a sale going on in Stadia right now? I mean, not in Stadia, but on Steam.
Steam, you know what? I haven't checked, but there probably is. There's probably a big one.
There was so many fucking games for sale, man. It was insane, and it was perfect time too because my son, he wanted to get the BioShock game. He wanted because they have all the remasters out. So he wanted to get the second one remastered. I'm like, buddy, and it's $26. I'm like, buddy, wait. These games go on sale all the fucking time. Just wait.
Yeah.
Boom, the spring sale hits. All three remastered titles for $11. BioShock 1 remastered, BioShock 2 remastered, and that BioShock Infinity remastered.
Infinity was my favorite.
Yeah, you love that one, didn't you?
Yeah,
Exactly.
man.
$11 for all three games.
Crazy.
I was like, oh man, good thing I waited. I would have been so mad to pay $26 for one game when I could have got all three for half that, more than half that. There was another game. There was another game I got for $2. Just kind of it was only like $20 to begin with. I can't remember the heck the name was, but I only bought it because it was $2. And Rainbow Six Siege. I know that game. That's an older game too. Very popular game though. The Ultimate Edition was $11. Still, even the other editions are quite expensive, but this one was $11. So I figured, why the hell not? He wanted that game really badly too.
My son and his friends play that all the time.
Yeah, it's super popular game still. Super popular games. But man, if you take a look, it took me forever to just look through all the games that Xbox had, all the extra add-ons they had on for sale right now. Stadia, I think, may have missed the mark a little bit. They have a decent sale going on right now, but they don't have a sale that like Xbox is doing, and I'm sure like Steam is going to be doing right now, which are just gigantic. It's basically so many fucking titles that are like a super good deal on right now too. Anywhere from 80% off to 20% off is going on right now. And I remember it's kind of ramped up. I think it's last 4 or 5 years is when the spring sale has really hit, and I think this year is obviously like everything, it's been bigger and bigger and bigger. Mark your calendars for next year for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is going to be the new tech like holiday sale is what Valentine's Day is going to be. They kind of had it this year, and next year they're saying it's going to be bigger than Black Friday. It's going to be bigger than Boxing Day. Will be Valentine's Day for some weird reason. Trying to make that day. I wonder if the pandemic had something to do with that, but that's what the retailers are saying. They're going to make Valentine's Day a big thing. But check out the spring sale. I bought a few super cheap ass games from it, and it's a lot of other shit I'm kind of kicking the tires on. There's a lot of games I'm really kicking the tires on that I'd be interested in as well.
I don't see how they're gonna make Valentine's Day a big thing.
That's what I'm wondering. That's what was super weird about it too. You could buy like TVs were like the cheapest they had been all year, including Christmas and including Black Friday. These TVs, and even Superstore was selling TVs. Superstore, which normally doesn't, so not all superstores have TV departments. They were the one where I go to had brought in TVs just to sell them.
Valentine's Day is like dinner, date, chocolates, maybe jewelry, TVs. What?
Yeah, I know, super weird. I was shocked by it too. I was super shocked by it. I'm not complaining.
Weird.
I know. R.I.P. single guys out there. Now she's gonna be expecting a flat screen for Valentine's Day. Sucks to be you guys. Let's talk some MMA with Bellator 255. Pitbull versus Sanchez 2. Good main event. The rest of the card kind of stunk, to be honest here. At least it was on YouTube. It's on Showtime. I think the biggest announcement is no more Mike Goldberg. He is gone. Mike Goldberg has been handed his walking papers, but hey, no complaints here because he was replaced by Mauro Ranallo, who is my favorite play-by-play commentator in the world. I like Mike Goldberg, but he is being replaced by Mauro Ranallo, and hey, sad news for him, but I like Mauro no matter what, and him and Big John are a great team. Whether it's permanent, but he will only be on certain cards. Let's break it down here. All the fighters made it in the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. Going down here with the final continuation of the fucking 145-pound tournament. This tournament seems like it's been going on for 2 years now. Christopher Gonzalez gets the big TKO submission, tapping to punches over Roger Horta. Roger Horta still he's looking cholo as ever and still fighting, but not looking great here. It looks like he got injured. He got injured on the takedown and just tapped to punches. That's his 4th loss in a row too. Not a good record for him right now. It's all in. He hasn't won in Bellator yet. Basically, well, he's got like a win in Bellator way back in 2010 was the last time he won in Bellator. All his other Bellator fights are losses. He hasn't won in Bellator, Kelly, in 11 years. Losing to Christopher Gonzalez recently. Sidney Outlaw he lost to in a decision. He got knocked out by by Patricky Pitbull, and guillotine by Benson Henderson. Not a good record. 24-13 he's sitting at now. Where was the other one here? Oh, this was a decent one. Magomedov gets the nice rear naked choke over CJ Hamilton. Just an absolute manhandling. Actually, the woman fight was actually a really good battle. Kana Watanabe over Alejandra Lara. That was a really good one with the Ryzen. They send over the Ryzen star to challenge against the Americans. That's what I really liked about this one. And it was a really good battle with Alejandra Lara really landing some great shots in the earlier rounds, and then the ground and pound, the judo of Watanabe just showed up. Her grit and her toughness, and that judo was just so nasty, and just really getting that nice ground and pound, getting full mount at one point too. Really good fight for both those women to really show their grit. They both were super gritty, super tough in that matchup, and I actually enjoyed it. Really good fight actually. Usman Nurmagomedov, the cousin of Khabib, put on an absolute clinic over Mike Hamill. That's why I like Usman. He's a striker, Kelly. He's good at wrestling. He's really good at wrestling, obviously being related to Khabib, but striking is his bread and butter. And he actually really showcased some really flashy kicks, some great stand-up, and I think this guy's going to be a handful for anyone to fight with. And, and Mike Hamill was no slouch. Mike Hamill was wanted to stand there and trade, and we have another undefeated Nurmagomedov. He's 12-0. And that was his Bellator debut as well. So he's getting a shot to the big show. Basically, most of his fights are by finishes as well, Kelly, by TKO. So it could be interesting to see how this guy turns out. Only 2 decisions. He's only ever gone the distance twice. And last Friday was the second time. 3 submissions and 7 TKOs or KOs. So this dude's tough. Really, I'm looking over his career here, and really no one to write home about. Let's just break him down a little bit. Okay, let's break him down here, because I really didn't know anything about him before this one. Usman Nurmagomedov. He's 22, super young. Obviously fighting out of AKA as well, so I hope he doesn't get injured. Fighting 155, but the first dude he fought is 0-1. Was his only, so he beat him. It was a total nobody. The second dude he fought was also 0-1, and he was the only. So he fought 2 dudes who never fought before. Fourth dude he fought is 0-2. Interesting padding of his stats. I skipped because the website keeps adjusting here. Let's see. The third guy he fought at least has a record. He's 3-3. At least has some wins.
Yeah.
God dang it. Fifth guy he fought is a little better. 6-3. Getting up there. And so here we go. Who's this? Was this guy here? Okay, so he's fought some decent talent moving up. Obviously a lot of Russian. Either they'd be like Uzbekistanis or Serbians or Siberia from Siberia or Dagestans, obviously. But either way, he's 12-0. 22, Kelly. Super young, 12-0 and 22. Tyrell Fortune beats the last second replacement of Jack May. He was supposed to be Meathead was supposed to fight him, but here Tyrell Fortune gets a new opponent, Jack May. They had a bit of heat because they fought each other before, and it ended with a legal blow to the nuts. And here Tyrell Fortune just ground and pound the fuck out of him. Jack May really looked out of sorts, and then they got into it afterwards. And we see this fight kind of took the sails out for me, really. Jason Jackson versus Nima Gracie. It was kind of weird because Jason he got cheese grate. His face, he was on top of Nima Gracie, and Nima kind of bucked up, and Jason Jackson's by his own accord, his head went right into the cage, and he cheese grated his eye. And he's like and then Nima instantly gets mount, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I just really hurt my eye really bad. I'm okay." And so it almost stopped the fight almost. And he's like, "Do you want to continue?" Even Nima's asking him, "Do you want to continue?" You can hear it all. He's like, "Do you want to continue?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. And they keep fighting. Where really he could have pounded the shit out of him because his eye was so fucked up. Damn. And then the next round, he gets his other eye poked.
Oh, man.
But he ends up winning it. He was showed, you know, I mean, for a dude who was fighting a Gracie, and, you know, Nima Gracie was a really good grappler too, obviously. Jason Jackson showed some really good wrestling, and you know, he got full mount a few times too, and was really kind of owning on the ground. I think it was very close ground control.
Yeah.
And was landing some decent shots on his feet as well. And Jason Jackson gets the nod. It was a pretty boring fight, though. Honestly, with the first round was good. The second and the third round were really bad. But to make up for that, Patricio Pitbull beats Emmanuel Sanchez with a nasty guillotine. The referee should have stepped in there because he was out. He was totally out for a good 5 seconds. And he even says, Pitbull even says he's out. He's out. And the ref then like looks at him, doesn't do anything, looks at him, and then finally grabs his arm, shakes his arm 3 times. Like shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. He's out. Like he's totally out. Get him off him, ref. And getting the slick. I think this was a huge win for Bellator. Yeah. Is a huge win for Patricio, obviously, to hold on to his belt and move up in the tournament to face Antonio McKee, which I think that is going to be actually a huge matchup. You know, for McKee's normally a 135er, moves up, steamrolls his side of the tournament to finally face the champion who never lost his belt through the tournament as well. In Patricio Pitbull, and it's just going to be an awesome matchup. The undefeated versus the Pitbull, I think, is a great matchup. But like I said, the Bellator needed this. You know, the dude who beat Justin Gaethje. You know what I mean? And now Justin Gaethje, or sorry, not Justin Gaethje. The dude who beat Michael Chandler. The dude who beat Michael Chandler, handily, and basically gave him his walking papers. Was the UFC picked him up, and obviously Michael Chandler is now doing good over in the UFC. And, this is the dude who kicked the shit out of him. And they needed him to win. They 100% needed him to win to say, like, hey, our fighters are really good. Our fighters are really good, and we got one really, really good dude who we've put a lot of our chips into him. We've put all of our eggs in the Patricio basket. Obviously, he's a double champ. He's a 155-pound champ and 145-pound champ, and for a reason. And he proved it right here with this. It was a slick submission. He was really piecing him up on his feet, and then he kind of thought about it, and then dives in for the guillotine. Right off the bat, he was really Pitbull's a little dude, but man, you don't want to fuck with this guy. That's for damn sure. He can sling him, and that guillotine was nasty. And he gets a huge win. Second time he's beat Emmanuel Sanchez. Obviously, Bellator dudes are gonna be fighting each other constantly, and big win for Scott Coker and his gang.
Man, that guy has a great record.
Yeah, he actually does. 32-4?
That's crazy.
I know, eh?
How old is he?
Let's take a look here. Let's break him down. Patricio Pitbull. 33. So he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. At least 4 more years, I think.
Yeah,
4 more years.
He's still in his prime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fight win streak right now. Where he got the win, obviously the big TKO over Michael Chandler. Only 2 decisions. 3 decisions in that win streak. All the other are big finishes. Daniel Strauss, a former champ. Daniel Weschel, a very tough dude. Emmanuel Sanchez, who he just beat last night too, or like I said, Friday. Michael Chandler, huge win. Juan Archuleta was a huge win, and then Pedro Carvalho, that was a really big KO as well. He lost to Benson Henderson by leg injury. And he has a loss from Daniel Strauss as well. He has a split decision loss to Pat Curran way back in 2013. Even Joe Warren has a split decision win over him as well. So all of his losses are either by decision and one's by an injury.
Well, the injury doesn't count.
Yeah, no, it doesn't count at all. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, how crazy is that, though? All your losses are by decision. He just has and he's been with Bellator forever. He's been with Bellator since 2010. That was a long-ass fucking time. He's fought Daniel Strauss 3 times, too. 4 times. What the hell? Because, Daniel Strauss was a big time at 145 as well, so that makes sense. Good card. I'll give it a B. A low B-. I'll give it a B-. Only because the main event was really, really good, but the rest of the card kind of just stunk it up for me. Good card, though. Whew, great show, my man. Great show indeed. Just want to give a special shout out to all the Spotify peeps out there. Thank you for continuing to tune in to the new podcast week after week after week. Loving you guys, loving everyone, and however you download us or listen to us, whether it be on your car stereos, your Garmins, as Kelly would prefer to listen to us on, or maybe one day we'll be on XFM, and you won't be able to get us if you're underneath a bridge or something. It'll be all staticky. It's like, you guys ever heard of streaming services? This is kind of weird. This is kind of outdated. It's a satellite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. But
yeah, the whole subscription thing.
A guy I work with bought the lifetime subscription. Well, it was like $500. You get a lifetime subscription, but he forgot all of his information. It was on an email.
No.
I know, it was on an email. He doesn't know the password to anymore.
Oh no, and he can't call.
He can't call. Yeah, well, they really dragged him through the mud. When he called, they were like, no, we want this guy to buy another subscription, right? Because $500 that's it. That's all their money they're getting for you. Some people would pay that, in a few years, right?
Yeah.
But maybe one day we'll be on that. Maybe one day. Who knows? But loving you, everyone. Check us out on Twitter @AndNewPodcast. The Steven and Kelly and New Podcast. Getting it done for you all week to week. 2:15 in the books. Sorry, 1:15 in the books. Getting ahead of myself here. Well then, without further ado, we'll call it a night here, my man. For Kelly and producer extraordinaire, my name is Steven, and you've been listening to the